last match before the break on day 5 of Alliance Tournament 8. We have Ushra'Khan versus Dead Terrorist. Ushra'Khan on your left in red have brought a Balgorn, an Absolution, 3 Hurricanes, a Guardian, a Flycatcher, a Dramiel, and a Kitsune.
And for the Dead Terrorists, we fielded 2 Macarials, a Proteus, a Damnation, 3 Hounds, and 2 Daredevils.
And we have what looks to me like the entire Dead Terrorist team. Maybe not the entire Dead Terrorist team. Yeah, the entire team come to 50 on the beacon from a direction opposite the one which Ushra'Khan came from. Ushra'Khan putting their battlecruisers right on the beacon, except for the Absolution and the Balgorn. Those are set back a little bit further, and the rest of the support all the way back at 50. So it's going to be interesting for Dead Terrorists. Well, for both teams, really. It's going to, I mean, range is going to be an important issue here with the Ushra'Khan battlecruisers all kind of in the thick of it there at the start. I like what's happening with the setups in this tournament. They're definitely going a different direction than I expected. Both of these setups very interesting, and we are rolling, so we'll see how they work out.
And we have missiles on the field and drones away, and we have a Ushra'Khan Hurricane taking heavy damage already into armor and about to explode as some more drones are launched on the Ushra'Khan side.
Wow, yeah, a lot of damage coming in fast. Those bombers not to be underestimated, and Macariel's doing plenty of damage as well. I am really curious about what the Flycatcher is here for. As far as I can see, he's not doing anything. Always a weird ship when that shows up. So a Hound now taking a good bit of damage for Dead Terrorists. Dead Terrorists bringing one of the few setups we've seen in this tournament that seems to lack logistics. I take that back, actually. They're running Logistics Proteus, I'm pretty sure. Yes. What's up, Darius?
Not much. I was just kind of staring off into nowhere, drooling. The Hound on the Dead Terrorist side has been revved back up. That was taking damage. They've switched targets to the other Hound, so it looks like Ushra'Khan is probing to try and find a hole in those logistics there. You note that Dead Terrorist Macarial is at 25% armor, and a second Hurricane is now falling and about to explode for Ushra'Khan.
So Ushra'Khan losing 2 battlecruisers. As far as I can tell, for both battlecruisers, the Guardian having no impact whatsoever on the HP. The Guardian is getting no lock. It's not doing anything, and I have to assume that's from Damps, probably from the Flycatcher. There's or from the Bombers as well, actually. Is that the right team? Yes, from the Bombers. So he's not able to do anything, and he's not headed back in close to the match to try to do anything. So he's really a non-factor as the 3rd Hurricane goes down. Most of the damage for Ushra'Khan now off the field. The Dead Terrorist Macarial still taking a pretty significant amount of damage. He's at half armor, but they weren't able to break the bombers and having to switch targets so late. Now also applying some damage to the Daredevil. I really don't like Ushra'Khan's chances here.
Yeah, I can't see if the logistics ship on the Dead Terrorist side is just too far from the Macarial, or if he just said, hey, don't sweat me, bro, keep up those bombers, because that logistics ship has been pretty heavily focused on those bombers, which is actually why they're still here right now.
Yeah, actually, I think you're exactly right. That's precisely what they're doing. He's still repping both of those bombers, both the Hounds, which are still taking a bit of damage, and not worrying too much about the Macarial. He can always turn all those reps over if he needs to, and to be honest, the bombers are all almost equally as important. I mean, you don't want to lose any of them, but keeping the bombers up is not something you can neglect, and that Proteus pilot doing a great job splitting the reps among all of the ships that needed on the Dead Terrorist side. So the Balgorn for Ushra'Khan now down, only an Absolution, a Guardian which isn't doing anything, a Flycatcher which is a weird ship to bring, and a Kitsune and Dramiel left for Ushra'Khan.
So a ship that doesn't do anything in a weird ship.
Yeah.
On the Dead Terror side, we're starting to see less and less damage. It looks like they're still focusing on one of those bombers, actually. But they weren't able to keep up with it with their DPS ships on the field as far as the reps are concerned. They're not going to be able to do anything to it. Now, Dead Terrorists appear to have this match pretty well in hand.
I feel the judgment in me swelling against this Guardian pilot. He was so far away from the fight for the entire thing. He's actually not that slow. He's probably afterburner fit, moving around 600 meters a second, and now has brought himself in close to the fight to give reps to that Absolution. I don't know why he wasn't interested in doing that earlier. I suppose he may be worried about getting primaried, but like you have to be able to rep with that ship, or everything else is going to go down.
Maybe he's just a late
anyway.
bloomer.
Yeah, I guess. He's decided now that he's ready. Now he has honor. But now that he's close, they are switching over to him, which I guess maybe is what he feared all along. And we'll see how well he tanks. Actually being afterburner fit in a logistics ship, a pretty good way to deal with bombers. The sig radius on those ships is very small, so the torps don't do great unless they have lots of target painter support, and also he's moving fairly quickly. So even though the bombers are shooting him, he's just not taking very much damage.
But he did manage to get that absolution back up to about 10% armor, which will drag this fight on a little bit longer as they focus. I don't even know what they're shooting at. Nothing.
I really like this Dead Terrorist setup. The Damnation, kind of a ship we've talked about whether or not it's worth it. I think that this particular Dead Terrorist setup gets a lot of mileage out of the Damnation. It's getting the, the bonus to armor links, which include armor resist bonus as well as a remote rep strength or remote rep duration or something. So they're getting a lot out of it that way, and they're also able to use it as a heavy tackler, which kind of seems like what it'd be good for, having only those 2 Daredevils there to tackle. He's been kind of in the thick of the fight the whole time. Definitely not something that's going to get called primary. Now it looks like the Dead Terrorist is able to get plenty of damage onto the Guardian, although now I guess he's pulling away again, the damage slowing down.
They had focused on the Kitsune, which just died.
Oh, good. Man, just a weird support setup for Ushra'Khan, bringing 1 Flycatcher, which would be, I would hope, fit with damps, possibly tracking disruptors, 1 Kitsune, which is just random. Again, maybe they're, in case they need to break some rep chain or something like that, give them the lucky jam that would let them kind of get through a difficult spot. And then 1 Dramiel as a tackler, just kind of weird. I think you'd be better off, going with 3 carries or 3 Kitsune or 4 Cormorants or something like that. But anyway, Guardian's still taking some damage, but not that much. He's not tackled. I'm surprised that the Dead Terrorist team hasn't kind of split up. Macariel's gone out to try and pin something down with the Daredevils, the Guardian especially, and kill it.
Yeah, that surprises me as well. I mean, the Guardian is kind of oozing down, but I think there's significantly more DPS on the Dead Terrorist team than is being exhibited here. Though we have a Dramiel that's about to go pop 2, almost, which wasn't being touched 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, and he does die. Obviously, this match over. The Guardian still taking little bits of damage. He's just kind of weird. He's like headed away and then headed back. I guess he's trying to stay close enough to like rep the absolution. It really doesn't matter what he does at this point. He should just drive his ship straight at the bad guys and die, because there's really nothing they can do.
Perhaps the Guardian has commitment issues.
He should be well committed. His job is to protect his allies.
That would be what one would assume his job is. But as you said, it appears that this setup may have almost come from a computer program in which they plugged in a bunch of points and then just said, okay, this is what we're flying, and what.
Yeah, it could have been that. Yeah, finally he's going to die. Yes, good job. So now they can turn all the damage onto the Ushra'Khan Absolution and hopefully the Flycatcher. Macariel's, it's interesting, we're seeing Macariel's that run that shield tank, kind of triple Macariel setup, failing pretty bad the only time it's been fielded today, and not doing too well in the second weekend of the tournament, I think. And the armor Macariel setup's doing better. These ones doing just fine.
Well, one major difference I'll say we did note perhaps earlier in this match is that it appears that the logistics pilot for Dead Terrorist was spot on. He did a very, very good job keeping his guys alive. If this was a game in which we had balls, he would probably get the game ball. But we don't, so...
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Game balls. You know what a game ball is?
I don't.
That's where, like, if you win a game, they give you the ball.
Okay, who would win it?
Whoever had...
the Proteus, absolutely.
The Proteus. Yeah.
So we can give an honorary game ball to the Proteus.
Yes.
For doing a really good job keeping the bombers up. That's actually totally true. If they would have been able to take the bombers out early in the match, which they were close to doing, if that would have happened, it really could have changed the way the match went.
I like how you said that. That's actually really true, as if I would have just said something that was factually incorrect.
As if that would ever happen.
Sometimes I just make stuff up and it happens.
So, Flycatcher close to the fight. He's going down unless, yeah, there he goes. So, more role players gone, thank goodness, and Dead Terrorists moving to the round of 16. We will go, I think, back to the studio.